is Emily Augustov, and this is my service project. This summer I have provided service at the Camp Grace. Camp Grace is located in Roberta, Georgia in Crawford County. At Camp Grace, I provided the service of being a camp counselor and also being a part of the hype team. As a camp counselor at Camp Grace, I interact with the children, I involve myself, and I observe these children. I also have to gain a relationship and serve these children as I teach them about Jesus Christ. As a camp counselor, I am with my kids throughout the week. So that means I'm waking up with them, eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm also doing various activities with them such as rock climbing, swimming, hiking, fishing, art, archery, and very much more.
Good.
I'm a football player.
You're a football player too? Why you play for all kinds of stuff? Yes.
I'm a soccer player.
I'm a soccer player.
What was I supposed to be doing? Man, I'm supposed to rally your back.
Throughout the week, we are also doing various teachings and helping them learn more about the gospel. Throughout the week, I am doing AM Devos, which means morning devotionals. During the morning devotionals, I am with my campers and we are reading about Christ. We're reading about Christ and we're learning more about the Bible so that they can gain an idea of who Christ is and learn more about him.
That time that were against God. They didn't believe in God, they believed in other gods. And they were fighting Israel, and Israel believed in God, and God was in Israel. So good people versus the bad people. Does that make sense? People that believe in God were fighting people that don't believe in God.
Throughout the week, we also have a setup called Power Hour, where we have a preacher come and preach to the children and just teach them more about Jesus Christ and who he is. During Power Hour, we praise with the children, we have a great time, and we just dig deep into the Bible. At the end of the week, we have something called the Crosstalk, where we gather our campers and we talk about the week and just give them the chance to give their life to Jesus Christ. As a hype team member, when I'm not with my children, I am setting up group games that we have all the campers come together and play. And I also set up things such as Power Hour, like the mics and everything and the lights, just to get the mood together. Being a camp counselor and a hype team member at Camp Grace, I have encountered many theories that related to the kids and the teams here at camp. The ones that I've encountered the most were the attribution theory, the observational theory, and also social identity theory. However, out of those three, the ones that I've seen the most was the social identity theory and the observational theory. The kids that come to Camp Grace are from ages 7 to 12, and for teen weeks we have kids from 13 to 17. I believe both teen week and kid week related to the observational theory. However, I believe that teen week related just a bit more. I say this because as I watched the kids, yes, they wanted to do things that maybe the other kids were doing, but I believe it was like they had a mind of their own and they didn't really take part of trying to piggyback on something else that someone else was doing. For teen week, I felt that there was always a ringleader in the cabin. If that person did not want to do a certain activity or they caught an attitude, then the rest of the kids in the cabin would try to act up and they would catch attitudes as well. As for social identity, I thought that was a very interesting theory to relate to this camp this year. I say this because our theme of the camp was I am. So basically throughout the week we were teaching the kids about their self-identity and who they are. And in our case, it was a child of God. However, I believe it related to the teen in the camp more just because I felt like as we know, teens go through high school and they go through peer pressure. They're going through being who's popular and who's not popular, who's this and who's that. And I noticed that during the camp that the girls in my cabin, they felt that they had to be the toughest, that they had to dress the cutest just to get along with other people or to be put in the social norm. I felt like they could not be themselves just because they didn't want to be talked about or they didn't want to be moved from the social ladder. However, I believe it related to the teen camp more, just because I felt like, as we know, teens go through high school and they go through peer pressure. They're going through being who's popular and who's not popular, who's this and who's that. And I noticed that during the camp that the girls in my cabin, they felt that they had to be the toughest, that they had to dress the cutest just to get along with other people or to be put in the social norm. The reflection from what I've learned at Camp Grace, I've learned how to interact and communicate with different people from different backgrounds and different cultures. I've learned how to help people open up. I've learned how to think about other people's point of views as well. I've also learned how to face fears that I didn't even know that I had. To say for future services for Camp Grace, I would definitely come back. I say this because it has helped me grow so much as a person, and just to learn to interact with different people. I also learned that psychology has so much to do with this camp, with interacting with different cultures and how people think and how people observe different things. And it was just such a mind-blowing experience that I would definitely come back and help again. It was a service that changed my life. Thanks again for listening to my project. And break.